Hi, my name is Janessa Shorts, and my presentation is on the beautiful West African culture and the strong impact that the Portuguese had on this region. I hope you all enjoy. Roughly around the years of 1467 through 1520, the Portuguese sailed out to the Sahel, which is the westernmost part of Africa. They were in search of new trading opportunities, and they were pleasantly surprised to find an already established, thriving culture. The Ife culture is one of the oldest in West Africa, developing around the 8th century. It's located where we now know as Nigeria, and the people are known for their amazing brass sculptures that depict their leaders. The heads hold supreme importance, and they hold their king spirits. An example of an Ife sculpture would be the head of an Oni. The brass sculpture is seen with parallel lines running down its face, and holes can be seen at the hairline, showing that they had hair or a veil. A hole is in the lower neck that suggests that the sculpture was attached to a wooden mannequin for a memorial. The Yoruba people also created an aid, or in other words, a beaded crown. Long beads dangled down to cover the king's face, and the pictures refer to the myths throughout their culture. This crown symbolizes majesty and authority. Sometime around 1170, the Benin culture was founded. They're known for their impeccable architectural abilities, in which they created the world's largest man-made earthwork. It was a 10,000-mile long wall to keep invaders out of their farmland. However, they also created sculptures of their ancestors as well. Head of Anoba is a sculpture created by the Benin culture. Artists were commissioned to create memorial heads of their ancestors in royal costumes, in which they achieved. In conclusion to their sculptures, the Oba's head was the home of the spirits. A praise poem is when you can lyrically give praise or honor something or someone in oral form. These poems are a major part of West African culture, and everyone there uses them. They're very repetitive of words and phrases at the beginning of sentences, but they're meant to be very powerful. The Benin praise poem is very similar to how African music is constructed. It consists of a single melody without harmony. Music is a necessity in African culture, and they don't view it as a luxury. It's an everyday activity that's incorporated into ceremonies, dancing, and visual arts. Call and response music is the most universal music forms throughout Africa. This is when a caller sings a song, and then the group around him or her responds with the chorus. This activity is harder than you'd think, but it promotes group activity, and it's completely tone-based. The Yoruba reproduce their speech in this method of musical signaling. It's performed using 3 types of drums, which imitates 3 forms of languages. These drums are not only essential for call and response music, but it's also essential for praise poems. The drummers play off the main beat, and it's normal to see this in West Africa. Groups all over West Africa get together to celebrate mass dancing. When Africans were faced with European challenges, they turned to this as an outlet. It's a ritual activity, and it unites a lot of different art forms all in one. A unique style of dance across West Africa incorporates a special item called the banda mask. It's only performed at night, and it's generally used for special events. The ceremony and these masks are extremely important to their culture, and it's been said that they're connected to the spiritual world, specifically their ancestors. Along with the banda mask, Eri Behi are ancestral connections to the spirit world. They're found in the Yoruba culture, which Yoruba has the highest twin birth rate in history. These sculptures were created to honor the infants who didn't make it, and were given to their mother, who then performed various mothering tasks as if they were alive. When the Portuguese came over to West Africa, it appeared that they were only there to discover new objects and ideas to share with their homeland, but then it turned terribly bad. It was later discovered that a Florentine banker financed the Portuguese exploration of African laborers. For as long as 4 centuries, the Portuguese transported millions of Africans across the Atlantic on a route called the Middle Passage. The route was Europe to Africa, Africa to America, and then the Americas to Europe. Although the Portuguese seemed to get along with the people of West Africa in the beginning, they were in need of another trading system, and unfortunately they turned on the Africans. Before the slave trade, the Portuguese were extremely helpful, which is why it's confusing that they turned on the Africans. They even helped the Benin culture from a neighboring region from them getting conquered overnight. The people of Benin referred to the Portuguese as mudfish. This was because they were advanced on both water and land. They respected the Portuguese and they saw the term mudfish as a symbol of transformation and power. These fish are so powerful that they can deliver electric shocks and they possess fatal spines. The most impactful component of West African culture was by far slavery. It not only changed the region of West Africa, but it changed the entire world for a very long time. The art, music, architecture, literature, dancing, and unfortunately the slave trade have all shaped this region of Africa tremendously. However, the slave trade not only had the biggest impact on their culture, but it also affected the entire world. While doing this project, I've become more appreciative of the West African history and their influences.